What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready, and so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What is going on with you today, my peeps, my friends, my fellow Wreckage Clearers? We are back for another great episode 75. Today we're having in our imaginative coffee shop. I got my drink, you got yours. So let's go ahead and discuss what we're going to talk about today. And today I want to implore to you, I want to make it known to you that your life is not over. Restart your life. That is the topic of discussion that we're going to have today. Last week we discussed the topic of community and how we need to embrace community, especially after a loss, especially for me, which was the loss of my marriage at that time back in 2019. So today, I want to discuss to you how it is important to realize that your life is not over. You're not dead. That relationship that you had with that person, yes, that is dead, but you are not. You are still alive, so you still have life, and you still have a life to live. And let me make it known to you. Let me encourage you to say that, whoo, boy, you got a great life to live. After the loss of your relationship, you have more of an amazing life to live after the loss of your relationship. That person didn't know. That person did not know what they was leaving. That person did not know. But you know that you have a greater purpose. I want to encourage you. I want to implore you. You have a greater purpose. It is not over with. Restart your life. Yes, man, that person was my life, though, Kareem. Everything I did involved that person. They were my life. Well, that life is over. And you can restart your own life. That life that you had with them is over. But your life is not. It is time to restart. And that is what I had to tell myself. That is why I am shouting that to you. That is why I am passionate about this, because that is what I had to tell myself, my friends. Man, Kareem, your life is not over. You can just hit the restart button. You can restart this, and you have such a greater purpose. You have such a greater meaning than just this. Yes, it was great. Yes, you got married. Yes, and you loved her. Yes, and all of those things, but that is over now. I had to remind myself of that daily, that I can restart. Every day I got up, I was like, it is a new day. It is a new day. And every day that you get up, it's a new day. Yes, you are no longer with that person, but you have a new day, new beginnings, great things ahead of you. Great things ahead of you. I understand that navigating the end of a relationship, that it required for me to have a unique approach to resilience. It required that because it involved me mourning a future that I might have envisioned and untangling my identity from that person, from my ex-wife. I had to untangle and I had to get rid of the vision that I had about our future. Now, how many of us felt like our life was over or feel that way right now? I don't know. Maybe you're going through. I bet this conversation that we're having today is just for you. I bet it is just for you. You're going through this right now. And if you're not going through it right now, you will be. How many of us felt like our life was over at the end of that relationship? I just shared with you, I thought mine was. How many of us felt like we did not know how to navigate through life without that person? Man, I know I felt that way. How many of us felt like we did not know what life would even look like without that person? Man, I know I felt that way. So I can sit here before you and I can be honest with you because I went through this experience. And so now I am here to simply share my experience with you because there were lessons that I learned from the experience. And that is what I am here to share with you. So the first thing is that I did have to grieve. I hope you're writing all of this down because this is going to help you in the future or it's going to help you now. Write this down. The first thing you got to do is grieve, man. You got to grieve. Grief is a natural occurrence after loss. It's a natural occurrence that happens as being a human, right? In humanity, this is what we deal with, grief. So if you get anything from this message, these are the things that I want you to get from this conversation today. The first thing is you want to allow yourself to grieve. I had to allow myself to grieve. I had to. We must. Because this is where the healing begins. Now, even though it may not feel like, there's any healing that's happening at all, but this is where the healing begins, with you going through the natural process of grief. So I definitely did not feel like I was healing. I felt like I was in pain, I was angry, I was hurt, I was in discomfort, all those things, right? But this is where the healing begins. Now, for me, my grief was kind of different. And I want to emphasize that everybody's grief process will be different from yours. It will not be the same. So when your friend is going through something such as the loss of a relationship and they come to you, you better not judge them and tell them to get over it. That is the last thing that you should say to anybody. Man, get over it. That person wasn't no good for you anyway. That is hurtful. It's not helpful. Let me just emphasize that. So grief is something that happens in everybody's walk of life. And it's going to look different from how you grieve. And guess what? That is okay. It's perfectly fine. They are okay. You're okay. It's fine. Now for me, so I want to share how my grief came and went. Yes, it came and then it went. It came back again and then it went. It came back some more and then it went. And some of my grief, y'all, was while I was still married, believe it or not. And the reason why is because things happened in my marriage to where my ex-wife was already emotionally unavailable. So I began grieving my connection to her during the later parts of my marriage. I no longer had a friend. I no longer had a companion. I no longer had that support, that comfort that I needed from her. I was no longer able to connect with her emotionally. Right? So I also began to grieve what I imagined my marriage would look like. Have you ever been there where you might have been there where you imagined your relationship with this person to be a certain way and then it wasn't? Just turned out completely bad. Turned out wrong. Turned out all the ways that you didn't imagine it to be. Well, that was me. Right? I imagined the perfect marriage, the perfect kids, the life of endless joy, the life of endless strawberries and cream and peaches and rainbows. And, I had believed the mirage, but it never came to fruition, which led me to an early grief process, losing what I had imagined. So as you know, one of the other things I did, because we just talked about this last week, was I got involved in my community. Here's step 2. If I was giving you a step process in this, here's the second step that I took. I got involved in my community. I surrounded myself with people who were good for me. Your support system is who you need during the time of loss. Family, friends. The other thing I did was I talked about it. 2, 3. Or step 3. I talked about it. I did not suppress my emotions. I got it out. It is important for you to openly express your pain, to openly express your hurt, to openly express your anger, to openly express your sadness, to openly express all of the emotions that you are going through. And it's important for you to have those people around you, that support system, that you can express those emotions to freely, without feeling judged, without feeling stupid, without feeling senseless, without feeling shame, without feeling guilt. This is part of not only the grieving process, but this is part of how you will bounce back and restart your life. Not necessarily bounce back to the same person you were, but you are starting over. You are restarting your life. So this will help you to free yourself, openly expressing what the heck is going on the inside of you. Sharing that wreckage, sharing the grief that is going on will help you to heal and also bring about a mindset of resilience and a reset. So I want to emphasize that you must allow yourself to feel these things, though. Right? You must allow yourself to feel that hurt, right? You must allow yourself to feel that pain. You must allow yourself to feel the anguish. You must allow yourself to feel the sadness without any judgment. That is embracing the full emotional spectrum. You're going to have those good days and you're going to have those bad days, right? Healing is non-linear. It is not a straight line. Grieving is non-linear. It is not a straight line. And I had to offer myself compassion as well. Even while my community was there to offer me compassion, I had to learn to give it to myself, as if I was talking or comforting a friend that came to me and said, "Hey, Kareem, I am going through it. She left me. I don't understand why, and I need to be there to comfort that person. So I had to cultivate, step 4, radical self-compassion. I had to treat myself with care. I had to treat myself as if I was a grieving friend. I'm not going to tell that grieving friend, hey, man, you know what? She wasn't no good for you anyway. Get over it. So why would I tell myself that? So that is how we're going to go about restarting. That is how we're going to go about realizing our life is not over. We can restart. These are the tools that I used. I engaged also in activities that brought about comfort, that brought about solace, that gave me peace, that gave me inner joy. One of those, you know this, was spending time in nature. Another thing that I did was I started reading again. I used to read all the time before I was married. Then I just put my books up and didn't read because I was so engulfed and wrapped in the identity of marriage. So I started reading again. I didn't work out when I was married. I let myself go. I didn't take care of myself physically in that way, at least, I should say. So I started back going to the gym. Engage in activities that bring you comfort again. Engage in activities that you once loved. Engaging in before that person. Because here's what happens. I mean, this is just a natural thing that happens. For the most part, when we get in a relationship with someone, we kind of, and I don't want to say it in a bad way, I don't want to put any negative connotation on it, but we kind of get wrapped up in them, so to speak. Because not we have interest in them because we want to be interested in what they're interested in, right? So we kind of get ourselves wrapped up in what they are interested in and start doing things that they really like doing or they enjoy doing, and we kind of forget about ourselves. Or if you're like me, when I was married, I went to work and I had to come home and I had to do a lot of things by myself. Because again, as I shared with you, my ex-wife was no longer emotionally connected. So I had already began grieving that process and learning how to do things on my own again and begin doing things. This was even before the marriage ended. I had to start doing things that I like doing. So engage in activities that bring about comfort and solace, that bring about self-worth. If you enjoy spending time in nature, go in nature. If you enjoy reading, do it. If you enjoy listening to soft, soothing music, do it. If you enjoy going to the gym, do it. If you enjoy going for a walk, do it. Remember what you love about you. So self-discovery and restarting, learning more about you. One of the other things that I did is that I unplugged. And I know this one will be hard for us to practice. However, I had a whole life with my ex-wife on social media. So in order for me to build, right, some type of resilience, some type of reset, I had to disconnect. I got rid of all my accounts. Therefore, there would be no way for her to contact me or vice versa, and also that I wouldn't see her life and what it was like after me. This is something I know that this is hard to do, but this practice really helped me to reset. It also helped me to discover myself, and it also helped me to reconnect with myself, and it also helped me to reconnect with the divine, to become one with the source. It helped me to reconnect with God and myself. It helped me to realize the things that I need now, what it is that I value. What is it that Kareem values? What is it that Kareem needs and desires? Because I was no longer focused on the world. I was no longer attached to what the world had going on social media. And I definitely wasn't attached to what she had going on because I had no way of knowing. And that gave me such a freedom that is hard to explain to you unless you do it yourself. Then you will understand what I am saying. The freedom that comes with disconnecting from that outside world. I'm talking about, i.e., social media. And the last thing that I did, which was very important for me, was that I journaled. I journaled my thoughts down, whatever it was that came to mind. I grabbed my journal and I wrote it down. And that brings me to the last thing that I'm going to share with you. I want to share this journal entry with you. And I know I get very intimate with you. I let you guys in so much. It's almost like you know me. But I'm glad that I have my community, of Wreckage Clearers that I can get vulnerable with. So I'm going to share with you a journal entry that I wrote on January 1st, 2020. This is my divorce was final on December 19th or 18th of 2019. This is a few days after. So I wrote this, and I'm vulnerable with you. I don't really care how it sounds. This was just what I wrote. What is a new year, a new beginning, even though each day I am given is a gift and a new day to start over. But there is something, lots of things that are completely different or new for me in the beginning of this year. I am no longer married. Thank you, God, for setting me free from the toxicity of my relationship with my ex-wife. I am currently unemployed. Thank you, God, for setting me free and moving me forward on to new things. I am no longer living by myself. I have a generous and gracious friend and roommate. Thank you for him. So these are all new things, and I am grateful for them. Last year was horrific, and I do not want to go back to the past. This year, help me, God, to stay in the present. One moment, one day at a time. I do not ask that you heal me right away, but I ask that you heal me. For I am broken on the inside and full of hurt and pain and sorrow. Restore to me the joy. Renew a steadfast spirit within me. Heal the bones that are crushed. Help me to sing again. Help me rejoice, not on anything or anyone, but rejoice in who you are. I will be strong this year, and I will stand on your word. Teach me to walk in your ways and give me a soft heart, a heart that seeks and desires you and you alone. When I get the feeling to do something stupid or senseless, to write, to journal, to pray, to go for a walk, to ask for your help and to ask for help. Thank you for all that you are and all that you have done and will do in this coming year. Thank you again for this day. May it be a sweet aroma. That was on January 1st, 2020. And as you can see in there, I had implemented, my life is not over. I can restart. And that's what I was thinking about. Restarting. And not just because, it was a new year. But as you can hear in there, I wrote a couple of things down that were completely different and new. There were new things happening around me. There were so many different new things that I wrote down in there. So that's the last thing I did. I journaled. And so once again, I'm going to leave you with this. I know y'all probably tired of hearing my journal entries, but I don't care. I like reading them to you. And the reason I like reading them to you is because, therefore, you know that I'm not on here just, shooting the gift, the gab, just talking about nonsense with you. When I say I journaled my thoughts, I journaled my thoughts. When I say I'm sharing my experience with you, I am literally sharing my experience with you. I am not lying to you. I am not sugarcoating anything. This is me. And I love that. And I love that I get to share it with you so you can know, man, you know what? Kareem, boy, he's genuine. He's not doing the podcast just to be doing the podcast. I'm doing it because I know that my purpose is greater. And think about it. Just think about this before I leave you. If I had got stuck and said, well, you know what? I'm no longer married. I'm divorced. My life is over. I wouldn't even be here with you today. I wouldn't be on the end of this microphone speaking to you. You wouldn't be able to see me on video. You wouldn't have the 75th episode. You wouldn't have a connection with me. You wouldn't have a community of Wreckage Clearers. None of this stuff will be here today. None of it. Which, as I stated at the beginning of this conversation, you, my friends, have a greater purpose. You have a greater purpose, and that is what I had no idea about. I had no idea, but somehow, somewhere in there, I was reminded that, man, hey, you know what? Life isn't over. I can restart. So, once again, I'm here to remind you that your life is not over. You can restart. As I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.